We have a legend in the building, and this is the second time he's been here with us on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. He's the head coach of St. Ignatius High School. This is his last season. Let's welcome to the program Chuck Kyle. Coach, it is great to have you in.
Oh, that's all right.
Welcome back. Yeah. Anthony is our audio one tech. He'll get you all dialed in with the microphone and the earpiece.
All right, thank you.
Coach, how are you? It's great to see you again.
I'm doing well. I'm doing fine.
Very good.
We're going to be in the playoffs, so good. And
You are in the playoffs?
yeah, we're made it already.
Yeah,
we
just
have another
on,
game,
on strength of schedule,
Okay.
you're going to get there? Or?
but man,
He's a pain in the neck. Sorry.
Now, Coach, are they still working? They do that on computer points, right? Or are they
Right.
still doing that the same format?
right, almost the same format. They are computer points, but now it's you get 16 teams into it, so it's basically in your region, almost every team makes it.
Yeah.
Almost
Okay.
every team.
Very
So
good.
That's fine.
So how was it's so interesting when a coach or a player is in the midst of that final ride. Sometimes they say that for all of the years that they've been doing it, they did not take it for granted, but you always assume it's going to be a part of your life. How has this final ride, so to speak, for you been to this point?
You always do think it's going to be part of your life, to be honest
You
with you. You do. There's moments where you're like, you're thinking of the younger kids, right? And you're watching them improve, and you're going, well, next year we could play them here and maybe get this. And you're going, wait a minute, I'm not going to be doing that. What am I doing, right?
Yeah.
But it's just by nature you do that. There's moments where you go, I'm tired. When you do these things, it's 7 days a week, and it's just a lot of
What
work.
does your week look like?
You did. Well, we play a number of Saturday games, so
Sure.
that's.
Coach, if
the
you'd
way it
like to
works.
take that out, you can take that
Okay.
out.
Yeah,
Mike,
yeah,
if
yeah.
This thing
you
is
need
not-
to talk to him,
I don't
we'll
know.
Yeah,
relay
don't
it.
worry about
But
it.
it's,
Yeah,
it's,
we'll
it's
hear you.
one of those
Yeah,
pain
yeah.
in the neck deals. That,
Are you able to watch the Guardians at all? That's the question.
Yes, but it's sort of in and out.
Yeah. Background.
Right.
while you're doing things.
You're listening. Oh, they got a runner on. Okay, here we go. Click. Hold that.
Yeah.
Hold the off tackle play. Here we go.
That's
I see
great.
that. But there's moments. Like I said, 7 days a week. You play a Saturday game. Well, Sunday you're there at 9 in the morning, and you probably go till like 2, and you don't have everything done, but you break down the game you just played. Now here's with the way modern technology is, you exchange films. You don't have to drive down the road or
Yeah, exactly.
meet the Canton guys
Send it in
halfway
an
there.
email,
Right over the email, right?
Yeah, now you just push a button, you send it. So that's good. That used to be crazy to drive down the road and try to find somebody. But anyway, you got to break down that film. Because
Yeah.
on Monday, you're out there on the field, and the kids it's a lighter practice if it's going to be a Saturday game. It's a harder practice if we had a Saturday game, but then the next week it's a Friday game. Well,
And you do that a number of times every year.
and you lose a day.
Yeah.
So you got to turn right out on Monday and okay, here's what we're doing. Here's what they do. Let's get out here and work on it. So anyway, so it's like I said, 7 days a week, and what keeps you going? And I think even younger coaches will tell you it's the adrenaline that keeps you going. I think any coach would tell you that. If you talk to Tito right now, it's the adrenaline that keeps you going. I mean, you're tired and drained, but you start getting into it, and hey, what if, and you start. Football is every snap of the ball. There's 22 variables. They're 11 and are 11. And you can diagram every play, and every play you diagram goes for a touchdown. Isn't it a miracle? It's amazing how we can get in the end zone. Yeah, but then again, no.
Yeah. Coach, when you, this season, obviously you guys play a tough schedule every year, 5-3 right now. When you, against the teams you've played this year, have there been some standout players that you've played against?
Right, yes. You look at the Akron Hoban, their running back probably is going to be a top candidate for the player of the year.
Okay.
in Ohio.
Yeah,
You know, Mr. Ohio, whatever they would do on that. He's very, very good. St. Ed's has 2 very good defensive ends, very good.
Yeah.
And other good players too, but they're, I know Kilbane's going to Northwestern, and they're, those guys coming off the corner cause a lot of problems.
Yeah.
They're very good. You know, Mentor has the defensive end that's going to Notre Dame. And
Right.
Either he grew an inch before our game, or I'm shrinking.
Yeah.
Because wow, is he big? You know,
Yeah.
and he could move. You know,
Sure.
So, and there's we do play.
Right.
We play River Rouge out of Michigan, Detroit, and that receiver's going to Michigan State, and that DB is going. You know, you're like, okay, they're all there's a lot of Division I.
Typical year in Ohio, really.
Yes, and going around. So it's a challenge to this, and you always have to adjust a little bit to, all right, this is their favorite receiver, so we have to bracket him a little bit and work with that. So there's all that work you have to put in, but gives you, I think coaches basically, you stay awake till like 2 in the morning for one reason, and it's just, what drives you crazy is you just want to put the kids in the position they can win. You know, you don't want to have that moment where we misaligned the kid or we didn't give them a chance to make the play. They're going to make the play. It's their game. But you spend ridiculous hours just making sure you can put them in a position where they can make the play. You know? So
Have you had a particular moment during this season where it's hit you in the moment that this is your final season? Or will that happen in your last regular season game, in your first playoff game?
Well, honestly, not while you're practicing. I have not experienced that at all while I'm practicing. While I'm practicing, here's what we're doing. Let's work this. Come on, kid, get this technique right. You know, there'll be the tendencies they're going to try to run the counter here, so you're going to squeeze things like that.
Right.
And that's what I enjoy about coaching, is that part of it.
Yeah.
Like I said, the things that gets you a little bit is you fall into just going, okay, well, next year when we play him, we'll have to make this adjustment. Yeah, well, I'm not doing that. Okay, that's a little different. And really, why I'm doing it this year, I certainly wanted to do one more year. I felt I'm healthy. I want to do it, but also I felt so. I'll be honest with you, responsible to help the younger coaches, whatever they need.
The transition.
Right? Yeah, I want the transition to be very easy.
Have
for
you
the
pulled
kids.
back, knowing that it's going to be someone else's next year?
Well, I know it's going to be Ryan Franzinger who's our defensive coordinator, so that's already set. And I think
So have you given him more responsibilities this year?
Definitely.
Yeah, and
definitely.
How has that been for you?
Good.
I imagine for somebody that's...
You know, it's different when he already did that. Oh, okay, I don't have to do that. All right, you know, that sort of thing that happens. And you just, okay, offensive coordinator, he needs to have his ideas in there. You know,
Sure.
You're trying to just make it comfortable for the kids instead of a wholesale change. It's kind of tough.
Sure.
You know, there's no spring ball, so you know how. So you get those few weeks in August, and you get some camps during the summer. But you want to make it so it's an easy transition for the kids, but you also want the coordinator to feel comfortable. He's got calling the plays and doing that. He's got to feel comfortable. That clock is moving. You got to make that call, and we got to go. You know, so that's been a challenge for me. It's a little different, but
Sure.
Maybe you could help the Browns with calling their plays and making the clock.
I don't know.
Coach, what are your thoughts on NIL in high school? How do you think you got out in time, so you probably won't see it, but how do you think that'll affect the high school game?
Worries me tremendously. It does. I'm a guy that believes that the game of football is a tremendous educational atmosphere, tool, whatever you want. And I'm not saying people can earn a living to help the family and so on, but the football field to me is a tremendous classroom. I can sit there in English class and talk about teamwork and working together and setting goals and all that, and kids can sit there and read a book and sit there and go like this the whole class period, and that's wonderful. But when you're out on a football field, you learn so much, and those people that play it know that. You learn so much about life. I fear that what's what's happening in college, it could trickle down, and you see it becomes almost like a business suddenly. High school athletics become a business. That's scary to me.
Hasn't Ohio already lost a couple of athletes to other states?
Yes, probably.
And the thinking is they'll lose more.
I think more in basketball than football, but I
Yes.
think it's already happened.
Right.
It seems to be more in the forefront with basketball because these top recruits are followed so closely. But Ohio, as you know, Coach, has so much talent.
Right.
And I've heard discussion about Ohio not wanting to fall too far behind the curve. So it might be one of those things where they enact it just to keep up with the Joneses, because the last thing they want to do is start losing their top-tier talent to states that are allowing their high school players to benefit financially from these NIL deals.
Right. I just worry, and I'm repeating myself, but honestly, I just worry you take high school athletics away from the educational aspect of it, and it becomes semi-pro to pro.
Yeah.
Might as well say they're pro athletes.
It would be pro.
You might as
They're
well
getting paid. They're
say
professional.
It's professional.
And in high school, you could make that argument. In college, it's already business.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure
it's
it
already
is.
big business.
But this seems like the last
this is-
bastion of
yeah,
kids doing
it
it
is
for
different.
fun and for love of school.
Right.
And it's.
I wonder how many
it's almost
kids in
like we're
high
losing a
school
piece
are
of our
going to make that
innocence.
much money.
I think. Oh, Coach, it's fewer than 1%
Yeah,
that this would even
It's
affect.
the elite of the elite.
Very,
of the
very,
elite.
very
Right.
small number of them.
Right. I don't know if it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy for the kid. I mean, to me,
Yeah.
hey, you're one of those guys. You get a college education for free. Now, all the parents out here, you've checked tuition lately?
Sure.
I mean, that's
If you're getting
they're
4 years somewhere, that's 150
Sure.
to 500,000
I mean,
to above. Even,
that's not a bad pay for a kid already. And what is it? Yeah, you're going to school. You're going to have a degree. How many of those kids are going to make it into pro football? What percentage?
Very small.
Very small.
Very
so you hope that they would have that education
Right.
along with the thrill of playing college football, but there's a need to have that
Yeah.
next life, and
After.
that needs to be the opportunity of having that. To me, that has been lost now, the value of that college scholarship.
Yeah.
You
Coach,
don't even hear people talking about it.
I imagine you've been hearing from a number of your former players. Any conversations that you want to share with us, folks that you've heard from? I know you don't want to leave anybody out, but is any, and I'm sure it's been a deluge since you announced that this would be your last year.
Right. Mostly you get text messages and emails and things like that, and a lot of that.
Yeah.
And when people share the magnitude of the effect that I contributed to with the football program is amazing. I don't realize it. You know you're helping the kid. You're there mentoring in a lot of ways, but when kids send stuff back, how they still remember things that happened that you go, I don't remember that, but that's great. It was
What
a
an
small
impact.
little moment
Yeah.
that
Made an
made a
impression.
difference for this person.
Thousands of kids over 40 years.
Right,
Thousands.
and really, you can. There's so many that came up on the screen that are amazing, that have gone into some amazing things, and
Yeah.
have gone into the pro football, and after that,
Yeah.
they're very successful. The amazing emails to me are the guys that were like second team. You know, they weren't the stars, but they had this amazing experience to have a teamwork idea with it, and that it affected the way they handle their business and affect the way they work with other people.
Wow.
It's like, how
Coach,
do
if you could
value
put
that?
your earpiece in, we have
Oh,
a piece
okay.
of sound that we want you to react to.
All right, got it? All right. I'm just gonna.
And be-
He could just hold it in his ear.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
have
I'll
to
just hold it
lock
like
it in
that.
there. If you could just kind of
Yep,
hold the
thank you.
earpiece
Thank
close so you can hear it. Okay, Mike, if you want, Steve, if you want,
Yeah,
you
take
can
it,
go ahead
Steve.
and roll it.
My retirement message from him is just like, all the players that you have in the league right now, enjoy us, and be on the sideline, enjoy the tradition at Ignatius, enjoy just living, enjoy having your health and your wealth. I'm happy to call you my coach, and I appreciate you.
Now that was after last night's game.
That was actually at media day last week.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it was. They got that last night.
I got it mixed up. That was
Okay.
media day last week. They lost yesterday, so I don't think he.
They
did.
did.
Last night.
Yeah,
Whatever.
they
So they
Right.
did. They did
Yeah.
lose in overtime. Tough loss.
Yeah.
They fumbled a punt in overtime and set up the game-winning field goal.
Did you know he was going to be an NFL player?
I knew he was was going to be a very good college football player. That's
Yeah.
mostly what I do.
Yeah.
You know what
Get
I
them
mean?
ready for the next
For
level.
me to say, oh, he's going to the NFL, he's
Yeah,
going to go
yeah,
big.
yeah.
I always look, and it's nice that the colleges respect evaluation, you know.
Sure.
And to me, there was no doubt he was going to be a very, very good college defensive football player. He was a good tight end, too.
Was he?
Well, he was a good tight end and a good basketball player. I think originally maybe he thought he was going to be a power forward or something, you know, and he did that. But the football thing started coming. If you talk to other coaches, he has a great motor. He's very athletic, but he has the hands. His hands getting off blocks are amazing. Are amazing.
Yeah.
It just that hand action. Okay, here they are, and they're pumping their hands to block you. His ability to just disrupt that and make the curve leverage-wise is really very good.
Coach,
Really
before
very
we
good.
let you go, tell us what you have left. One left in the regular season, am I right?
Right.
And
Right.
then it's on to the playoffs. Have you looked ahead to figure out who you might be getting in that first round?
Believe it or not, I just don't have. I don't feel I have time to worry about that because it changes the last week.
Sure.
It changes, and so right now you could say, well, 2 or 3 teams, but I don't. I'm too
gonna
busy
mess
trying to
around
get
with
ready
that.
for the next.
Who do you have in your final regular season
We're
game?
Clarkson, football north out of Canada,
Yeah.
and they beat Menor fairly solidly early in the season. I would just share. I think they're trying to be like a IMG.
Yeah,
type.
yeah.
That's
They're
exactly what
getting
they're doing.
kids from all over
Yeah.
to get their opportunities to actually play football in the United States. Go to college in the United States. You can tell.
Yeah.
And
They've
you
become a
look on,
power.
and you look on film and you're going, okay, they have like 5 Division I players out there at least. And you
So it won't be
okay,
easy.
so we're going to have to play here.
Yeah.
We're going to definitely play. So that's going to be a challenge. That's all right. And we're actually playing the game at our school, which we've never done before. So if you drive by, you see all these. They brought in all these portable stands to
Have
put
they
up
really?
Oh, that's
to add
funny.
more seating.
Is that to commemorate your last game?
I interpret it that way.
Yeah, right.
I don't think I've been always in what they're going to do, but that's fine.
That's cool.
That is kind of
that's a little different experience. So it's okay. And my whole family's coming in,
Wow.
which sounds like, well, of course they'll be there. Well, okay, 3 of them, the 4 kids are in California. Okay, so they're flying all that, and their kids
Having to deal
in.
with this sleet and snow.
Oh yeah,
already.
they're gonna love coming to Cleveland, aren't they? They're gonna love it.
The big question is, will you cry, Coach? Will you let it all out? What's going to happen when when it hits fourth quarter stops? What are you going to do?
I'm going to try not to get emotional.
Let it
don't
go,
know.
Coach. Let it go.
Yeah.
When you're playing the game, I really firmly believe I'll be just coaching the game.
Focus.
And maybe that's my little security blanket
Y'all,
there. You know,
that's exactly what that is.
yeah. Okay. We got to adjust the blocking scheme here or something like that. That may be helpful on that. Okay. But there is a feeling of satisfaction that the program will be left in the hands of some really good men. And that's important to me.
Yeah.
That's important to me. I just spent, as you know, just a lot of years, and I wouldn't trade a second of my life. Honestly, I'd do this all over again in a heartbeat. It just
That's how you know you got it right.
It just was great, and I'm very grateful. I have a wife who just understands that. Okay, it's football season.
See ya.
See ya.
Coach, what will you do next fall?
Oh, I know. I'll tell you what my wife's saying. We are getting out of the country. If she were sitting here, she wouldn't let me answer that.
Permanently?
Yeah, right.
We're out of the country. That's what we're going to go.
I've had
Because
enough
you know
of
what'll
this.
happen? I'll be,
You're
well,
gonna
why don't we
drift
go
back
to
to
that
the field.
game, or why don't we go to that one?
Right.
So,
But how will you spend the bulk of your time? Because when you're a football coach, it is all consuming. And all of a sudden, next fall, when it comes time for you to do what you've done your whole life, that won't be there.
Are
So
you
how do
retiring
fill
from
that
teaching
void?
as well?
right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Right.
You got so you completely unplugged.
Well, I am doing some work with the Browns with their youth programs.
Sure.
So I'm looking at it that I can have a little bit more time to go see how those leagues are doing, right? There's a number of leagues that the Browns are helping out, and I can go see and watch them play and say, are there things coming up that maybe the Browns can help you with or do that? I have a very wonderful experience with the Browns because they're very eager to see how they can help with youth sports, youth football, and so I think they're encouraging me. Yeah, please do that. That'll be fun.
Very
So
good.
I won't be totally out of the game.
Yeah.
But maybe a guy my age should be doing that, right? Should
Yeah.
be kind of going, okay, we got to get these young kids where it's a safer game,
Sure.
Yeah.
safer technique,
Right.
playing the game. Because I know I've said this the last time I was here. It's clear to everybody that the number one spectator sport in the United States by far is football. I mean, it's clear. The statistics are ridiculous, but it can't be a gladiator sport. And what do I mean by that? You're watching the athletes in the arena while you sit up in the crowd going, I'm not doing that, but I can watch that happen. Well, how about playing it?
Sure.
Come on out and play it, you know.
Right.
So that's what at my age and my status at this point, I think I could channel my energies into helping in that area.
Well,
great.
Coach, congratulations on
All the best.
marvelous career.
Thank you.
Chuck
Appreciate it.
Kyle, coming to the end of a 40-year career as the head coach of St. Ignatius. Coach, thanks again for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Greatly appreciate it.
A lot of fun. Thank